So I want to make sure, before Sonic Temple starts, that you know all the rules of the mosh pit before we get you in there.
Well, that's important, I guess, for all those people that are getting in the mosh pit.
Yeah, we'll get into that next.
Traffic.
Metallica on the Morning Blitz, 7:42 with Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis. And there are rules to moshing. Actually, there are rules to a lot of things, but especially moshing.
Yeah, you're going to need to know these.
I don't need to know anything.
By the way, if you are camping at Sonic Temple, you may get in at noon tomorrow.
Oh, to set up early?
Yeah. If you have an early arrival pass that you bought in advance, you can get in at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So your party starts early.
Speaking of which, if you're heading out today for any reason, it is raining, and Sean would like to issue a friendly reminder, turn your headlights on. Not everybody does that.
No. Yeah, we talked about that the other day. That is the law. If your wipers are on, your lights must be on.
Speaking of wipers, David is now concerned that he's looking at other people's wiper speeds. Thanks,
that is so funny. I had no idea that many people worried about it. We talked about this the other day. If you missed it, people, if you look and you see somebody's wipers and yours aren't the same speed, it gives them anxiety. I'm like, okay.
Mosh pits give me anxiety.
Oh, come on. I'll make sure you're well taken care of. All right?
From the top of the boombox.
I got your back. Just the top of the boombox. All right. Were you into old school punk at all?
Not really.
No? Okay. Well, that's where it came from. It was, they called it slam dancing. That's where it all started. And it's mostly just dancing around and bouncing off of people. And, there are rules because you want to stay safe. Nobody wants to, end up at the hospital. We're there to have fun and see bands. Nobody wants to have their weekend cut short. Number one rule above everything else, look out for each other. If somebody falls down, you pick them up. You're in that experience together. If somebody needs to get out of the pit, we will help Lewis get out of the pit.
He's never going to be in the pit.
Know that they exist. If you're on the floor at Sonic Temple, if you're new to this, there are going to be mosh pits, whether you want them to be or not, and they can break out anywhere at any time. It's like a storm cell. It just, poof, it's there. It just happens.
Is there ever a wall of death at Sonic Temple?
I do believe they did for when we had... oh, jeez. Now I'm having a brain fart.
But like super
Lamb
metal.
of God.
Okay.
Lamb of God, yes.
Lamb of God, yeah.
Yeah. When Lamb of God, they played the side stage, there was definitely a wall of death for that.
That's the thing you want to stay out of.
That's like...
no offense, it doesn't exactly sound like an appealing place to go.
Okay, so in Red Rover, send Lewis right over. He's supposed to try to break through your arms. Mm-hmm. In the Wall of Death, both sides, everybody all at once just runs straight at each other and runs into each other.
That sounds like so much fun.
I don't understand that one. I mean, it's like, let me see if I can survive this without getting hurt. But I mean,
hey guys,
whatever.
Let's fill up on alcohol and then charge each other on the concert floor.
But it is widely understood and accepted that mosh pits will start behind the people standing at the barricades. Like, they don't have mosh pits up on the wall. They're back from the wall. And sometimes they're small, sometimes they're big.
Question.
Yes.
You are a mosh pit aficionado. Have you ever started a mosh pit? Have you ever been patient zero?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Have you?
Absolutely.
What do you do? Do they know it's coming?
Well,
the person you slam into, or
no? I mean, usually it's I don't know how you would do it necessarily alone.
But no, somebody's got to start it,
right? But it's like you and a couple other people.
I gotcha.
That,
you sort of plan
you just kind of start doing it, and then
so you started alone, and then somebody else joins your pack, and now you're not a one-man wolf pack anymore.
It just gets bigger and bigger. Now, what my son's favorite thing in the world to do is find a mosh pit and then find another one like a little bit farther away, and then divide the crowd to connect the two mosh pits and make a much, much bigger mosh pit. And he's a master at this. I've watched him do this so many times.
Yeah. Keith from Galleon just posted a picture of an eye injury that looks like it came out of a street fight in a mosh pit.
Doug texted in, and I didn't have that one on here, but I agree with him. It says no pooping in the mosh pit.
That's number one on the list, isn't it?
That should be.
Who has time to do that while people are bumping into you?
Oh, Popcorn Pam said that Lamb of God, the Wall of Death, was epic.
Matt, the truck driver, said Killswitch Engage did one of the largest Wall of Deaths during Rock on the Range. That's why we have the metal barricade now.
That's when Tessa broke her ribs.
Oh my god!
In that pit at
Yikes.
Killswitch.
Yeah,
when they did the Wall of Death.
All this sounds like a pleasure cruise of a vacation.
Well, she was crowd surfing and crowd surfed right into the Wall of Death.
Oh, oops.
Matt said his brother-in-law is an old-school punk, and his moshing involves a bunch of kicking and windmill arms, and told me to watch out. Thanks, Matt.
What is that? We don't need that. All right, continue on here with the rules. Do not ever pull anyone into a mosh pit or push someone in. It is opt-in only.
Yeah, thank you, Thick Rick. Quit trying to force Lewis into the mosh pit.
What she said.
I'm not trying to pull you in or push you in. I'm asking you to join us.
Ashley, Duncan, was in a wall of death and ended up with a busted nose and a sprained ankle.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, nobody needs
what
that.
about this sounds like a good time?
We just mainly do circle pits, right? It's just kind of in a circle. And
Don't be violent for the sake of being violent. Don't be that guy. Do not get angry at people for moshing in the mosh pit. If a mosh pit is assembling, get out of the way. Nobody wants to hear that you were there first.
Matt said, first time I ever moshed was Warped Tour 09, Grow Up Lewis. I feel like by not getting in the mosh pit, I have grown up.
I read that. I read that online. It's something that said, what are you doing in a mosh pit at 40 years old? Again, this is like not wearing the band shirt to the band you're seeing. I want to know who made the rule. Who was the first person to decide if you're over 40, you can't get in a mosh pit? F you. Who made you the boss?
I feel like if you wake up out of bed and you do the system check to make sure everything's functional before you actually get out of bed, you probably shouldn't be in the mosh pit.
You should be in my pit, which is the hug pit.
Hug
pit.
I'm doing a hug pit, and it's like no lingering hugs, people. We are closely monitoring you. Do not be weird. Do not be gross. But we're doing hugs, baby.
Liz said, Lewis, I'm 5'2", 130 pounds. I survived the pit, nothing more. I was so drunk, I didn't even know I was in it. They made sure when I fell that they got me back up. I feel like I was in a car accident the next day, but I'm fine.
She doesn't know it, but she was really in a hug pit. That's what it was, because she was so drunk.
What's this?
What?
This person texted in, my husband lost a nipple and a ring in some guy's long hair.
Oh, no.
Imagine finding that in the shower.
Okay, so that's another thing. No, you don't want to be shirtless with a nipple ring in a mosh pit. No, you have to, again. Okay,
you have to tell me how that healed up. Like, what happened? What does that look like now? I need to know.
Lindsay, I got a busted nose and kicked in the stomach from somebody doing kicks and windmill arms.
Yeah, no thanks.
We don't need that.
No.
All right. Catch the crowd surfers. Always be aware of your surroundings and the people coming and going. Do not let the crowd surfers fall, which is always funny because when somebody's crowd surfing and they come up on a pit, people in the pit will get them and walk them across the pit and send them on their way.
Two things I will also not do. Crowd surf, because I will be dropped, and stage dive, because I know that crowd will part like Moses parting the Red Sea.
Yep. Well, you and I are both over the weight limit for crowd surfing, at least based on the rules. But there are a-holes out there that weigh 280 that will try to get up and crowd surf. And I'm not passing you over me, dude. If you're coming, I'm moving out of the way. And if you don't make it to the front, tough. At 280, you should not be crowd surfing.
Steve wants to know if on this list of mosh pit rules, if there is a rule against handing out tastefully done black and white nudes, because he says he's getting out of that pit.
Lewis is in a pit bouncing around here. Take another one. Here's another one.
Travis said, the one rule I love is no matter what happens, if somebody falls, everybody stops and swarms the person to pick them up.
Yeah.
Nicest people you'll ever meet as they're breaking your ribs, puncturing your lungs, and accidentally kicking you in the groin.
All right. Keep alcohol out of the pit. Nobody wants to wear your beer, and absolutely nobody wants to deal with a sloppy drunk in the pit. Who was it that texted said she was drunk?
Oh, Liz.
But so she might have been, irritating in that pit. I don't know.
Hey, Tara says once she was in a pit at Rock on the Range and she got knocked down. She said even before she hit the ground, she had so many pairs of arms grabbing her and lifting her back up. She said it was amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Respect others' bodies in the mosh pit. Do not touch or grope anyone. Nobody grope Lewis, all right? We don't want to do this to him his first time in a Sonic Temple pit.
Where do I sign up?
I'm
going to start a groping pit. Oh, wait, I can't do that.
Okay, we got an update on the ripped-off nipple situation. MK texted back in and said her husband's now 50 with one nipple.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, that's so wild. That's a nice party story for a. Is it a conversation starter? Is it a conversation ender?
Party trick.
Well, you could pull it out as a party trick. I mean, that's kind of what I meant. Like, right? I would want to see it.
I
Honestly, I would want to see it.
Yeah, I get it.
Jason said he was crowd surfing and lost both his shoes and one of his socks.
What?
But yeah, the whole groping thing, that's that rule applies in the mosh pit and to crowd surfing. Not your time to cop a feel.
Ari broke my wrist as a crowd surfer when someone fell on me in '95.
Yeah, that's why you have to be aware and you have to watch for the surfers because they are coming behind you.
Rob said his son 3 years ago at Inc. thought he was going to be a big guy and go out into the pit. He learned his lesson real quick when he fell on his ass and immediately wanted to get out, and people were nice and helped him up, helped him get out. That's from Rob from Mansfield.
Yeah. Take only what you need. Strap everything down. Any loose objects will get thrown around. Leave them with someone you know or in a locker. I remember I wanted in that pit last year, and Kelly goes, "Give me your stuff," and I'm like handing her all my stuff.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I did hold all your stuff.
So I took off for the pit.
That's right.
Let's see. It's not a fighting ring. If you get hit, it's not personal. Brush it off and either ditch the pit or get back out there. This isn't the place for grudges.
To quote Captain America in the elevator in Winter Soldier, if I get hit, it's going to feel kind of personal.
Well, I mean...
multiple times, especially.
Not if you expect it. Also, respect the venue staff. Sometimes security will enter the pit if things are getting out of control. Staff and security are your friends. Always do what they say. And finally, wear old, worn clothes or a cheap outfit. This is not the place for your revenge outfit, Lewis, and your mankini.
See, when you're wearing chaps, it's not safe to crowd surf. Or mosh pit.
It says don't wear nice shoes. Clothing can easily get ripped or stained. While you prep for the concert, ask yourself, would I mind losing this forever? Don't wear glasses or loose jewelry, and make sure your shoes are snug and tied.
Popcorn Pam said there was more groping than usual one year. And Brenda said, watch your pockets when you're crowd surfing. People will steal your wallet or your cell phones, which leads me to Jake going, all of this sounds like the setup for a CSI episode there, Thick. Thanks, poor Lewis. Exactly. I'm going to get beat up, lose my socks, my shoes, my wallet, and my phone. This is going to be a great time.
You just call that Thursday.